Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look here again at Fetch.AI. We've seen it pulling back here to this lower of 0.382 fib level, so we're going to talk about some key level supports here today, possibly redraw our fib levels and just kind of see, generally speaking here, what the best practice is for this coin, because it's doing pretty well, all things considered, but again, pulling back with the market, specifically the fact that Bitcoin dominance is increasing and the price of Bitcoin's pulling back. That's always a recipe for disaster. So future reference, I do upload shorts, and when I talked about that this morning, I discussed kind of being careful about altcoins pulling back. It's not really an ideal market to take some long positions with altcoins for the right now. We just got to wait for the prices to kind of stabilize, but generally speaking, just a heads up on that. So if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Hope you can learn something today. If you want to become a better trader, again, CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link down below. I ask you a quick favor, hit the like button and or comment if you have a chance. Really helps grow the channel, gets us in front of more people. Furthermore, too, congrats to our community members. Just got to get some quick kudos here. We got some nice profit from Near Protocol, 52%, ICB 36%. A solid profit there. And then my day traders are also taking profit with Solana, AVAX, Matic, ETH, and BNB. Nice hedges here, so to speak, today with some longs and shorts in both directions. So let's look at the liquidation data and kind of just double check here. 2.6 to 2.8 is that upper level liquidation. We talked about that yesterday being a possibility, not a probability. And at this point here, $1.80 even heavier. So just because we have a heavier concentration of liquidation on the downside doesn't mean it's going to happen. It just implies that there's a possibility the price could sweep that lower level before it legs up again. We are still effectively making lower lows and lower highs. We still haven't broken it free from that pattern yet. So while yesterday was a good day, we haven't closed above a more recent high here, and that's an important thing to recognize. Okay, so let's go ahead and double check here the daily time frame, work our way down. We look at moving averages, we can see we're above 3 out of 4 moving averages. So that's generally a favorable sign, but most coins are getting rejected by the 50-day SMA, and being below that tells us we're not truly out of the woods yet. Okay, we are right here at 50 on the RSI, of course, at least we were yesterday, kind of tentatively rejecting there. It implies we're at this point of contention. The price action wants to go higher, but it can't. It factors into a lot of different things. So if we do zoom out here, let's look at the average point of control here for the most recent time frame. And as we talked about yesterday, that average point of control is about $2.65. That's higher above. We don't need to worry about that just yet, but that will be a resistance eventually. We obviously have a heavy concentration as this $1.10 mark, but that's from previous. We don't need to worry about that guy for a while. Anyways, the long story short here on the daily is that we have mostly bullish confirming factors, and that's a positive sign. So it does hold the price action here, letting us know we're in decent shape. Now, as far as the more recent high that I was talking about, until we get above this 235 mark, we may not have a situation where we want to get super happy about it. Okay. Now again, ideally we're going to be establishing higher highs and higher lows. So if that is the case, awesome. But between now and then, we need to recognize there is somewhat of a resistance shelf at about 235. So what we want to look at here next is the RSI. We can see we're above 50, holding strong there so far. We maintain this level, we should be in good shape. What we want to see is stochastic swing down while maintaining that level of RSI at 50. And then generally speaking, the price should bounce off that range. Okay, that's ideally a perfect world. Do we live in a perfect world with cryptocurrency? Absolutely not. It is far from perfect. In fact, every time you seem to think that things are working the way that you want them to, the whales have a different game plan in mind. But key takeaway here is that we're above all moving averages. The more recent point of control here is just below and or right there at the current price action. So we can see this 0.382, this $2.20 mark, likely going to hold here. Okay. Looking at the hourly, we can probably confirm that too as well. We can see the more recent high level here working as a new low. It's not exact, of course, folks, but generally speaking, when you have these support levels from before, they reaffirm themselves either as that or a resistance. Right now, we can presume this level is going to be a support for us. Ichimoku Cloud on the hourly does confirm too we should have taken profit on any trade that you have open, because again, lagging spans intersect with the price action, and the conversion line is now below the baseline. If we end up closing below the cloud here, we could be in a consideration for a short position to potentially guide ourselves towards that $1.80 mark to sweep that lower level liquidity. We don't want to jump into a short just yet, though. I think we're kind of on the tail end of this downtrend here. A couple of reasons why I think that we're getting close to a 9 on TD sequential while we're getting a reset here. We're about 7 to 10 hours into this continuation of the downside. Generally speaking, you see a bounce at that point. We're also seeing Bitcoin kind of stabilize at the 65, low 60, 64, $6,000 range, and that's a good thing too. Bitcoin can hold this level here, we might see some altcoins continue. So I think generally speaking, being careful with the altcoins that you're trading right now is important. If If you are going to trade coins like this, just make sure you use good risk tolerance, low leverage, low position sizing, and ensure that you're not in a bad position. Okay. Always put yourself in a favorable situation by monitoring the trades and ensuring that you're not over leveraging. You should never feel uncomfortable about your trade going in the red. That's really what it boils down to. You're using way too much of that as the case. Again, different story for different situations. Most people do, unfortunately, take half of their portfolio and throw it into a trade, and I think it's bad. Very, very bad. Try not to pay attention to those people online that are just showing how awesome they are with their high leverage trades. That's a very risky trade, folks. And again, while you do get some benefit of risking, your risk to reward ratio needs to be appropriate and needs to work well for you. Okay, find what that is. And if you need more help finding that, I've got a trading university if you want to check that out, CryptoCache.tech. It does include trading academy and signals as well. Obviously, these signals here are all kind of part of that. So thanks for the awesome feedback to my community members. Thank you as well, letting me know that this is a good exchange. We use BitUnix primarily as an exchange here for our committee. Excellent rewards. Use my link to register. Be sure to check them out. They are awesome. Deeply appreciate them. No KYC or VPN required. Awesome stuff, folks. Thanks again so much for your time. We'll see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Thank you.